Oh my God.
Shooter Ready, you are correct. And it's similar to that in ham on certain forums. Log into a BBS, can ask a questions and get 100 RTFM answers. That's right. And if you don't know what RTFM stands for, it means read the fine manual.
See, I don't think that you need to tell people to RTFM, but at the same time, there is some stuff that people like. I don't necessarily know if I get that going and asking on a forum is easier than reading the manual.
Lord, no, because there's a lot of drama with it.
Well, and then you're
depending
getting
on the
somebody's
forum,
crazy opinion too.
right?
Some people can't read the manuals, though. Some of the manuals are unreadable.
I get asked all sorts of random questions at work, and my boss, bless his heart, he comes up with stuff. I need to know how to do this. Did you Google it? He doesn't. It's like he comes and asks me, and I sit there in front of him. I said, and I actually say to him now, let me Google that for you. And he still hasn't grasped the sarcasm.
There's a Google machine out there.
He's thinking that's money well spent.
I'm fine with it. The check I get works for me. So, if that knucklehead wants me to Google stuff, I'll Google stuff. I mean, Bob, I'm kidding. You're really
wonderful human being.
You're a great human being. Learn to Google. But I mean, yeah, and I'm with you. That's exactly right. I would not ask a question in a forum until I hit my own personal wall. I will try to solve, but that's my mindset too. But I want to solve the problem before I go asking people.
It's different if you're saying, "Hey, I have this antenna, and I'd like to ask some questions about this antenna," or to understand how it works. But when somebody says, and I'm not trying to shame anybody, but if somebody says, "Hey, is 3-to-1 a good or a bad SWR?" That's probably something you should learn about, right? That's probably something you should figure out.
Now, I will take that one step farther. Not for for Discord, it's totally different than it is for an online forum. So like in Discord, it's a bunch of us. We're all just shooting the breeze all day long.
Right.
Hey, I got this thing dialed in at 3-to-1, and the answer would be, yeah, sure, your internal tuner will handle that, no problem. Like that's just quick part of the conversation. That's okay. That's part of the camaraderie. But
or it's like, hey, it's a 3-to-1. How do I tune this down? Right? Like, what are my options? With
retirement check.
I did that a lot early on with Gary here in the group that we were in. When I learned how to tune antennas, I always get it mixed up. Which, if it was long, where it would be in the band, and if it was short, where it would be in the band.
Bro, I still never remember that. I have to Google that right before I do it because I could never remember.
I just have to think that 7 per cycle is longer than 14 per cycle.
It took me a while building antennas and that is why. Well, I mean, I know you like the VNA, and that will do it also. But that's what I do like about the Rig Expert is
it's a professional piece of gear.
Yeah. I know exactly where my antenna.
I guess what I'm talking about is the questions where people are like, "How do I get CB on my Fang?"
Where's your Rig Expert?
Right.
Like,
Where's
how
your
do I
Rig
get
Expert, Chuck?
Huh?
Well, and even one that we see, and guys, understand if you feel the need to ask a question in Toads, you ask a question in Toads because we'll answer you and not give you too much grief about it. But I've seen multiple times people asking questions like, "Can I scan with a Fang?"
Or how do I get police? How do I get the police with the Fang?
Yeah. They want to use a Fang as a scanner. I'm like, well, you can scan with it if you like watching paint dry.
I was talking to this guy, and he was like asking how he could get CB on his Valfang, and I was explaining, hey, it's for UHF, VHF, which are frequencies in this band, and you really need something in 11 megahertz or 11 meters. And so I was going through it, and the guy just loses his stuff. And he's like, "You mean to tell me I bought a piece of junk? Are you trying to say that I bought a piece of junk?" And I'm like,
I can smell the
I'm
butter.
I'm not trying to say anything other than you ain't getting
what you wanted a
screwdriver.
screwdriver.
Yeah.